Yes, we're back. It's Sunday. Another episode of A Drink with Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their books and their lives and their careers, because people often invite me to their shows and offer me time on their platforms, and I appreciate it, and I want to do something in return for this amazing community. So, welcome, guys. Welcome. Okay. I try to start with a little update every time, and I have one. It's not really that little, actually. I am planning to do it officially, so make an actual update for it. But the thing is, we are producing the comic book Perfect 10 issue 3. It is awesome. It is amazing, but it can be awesomer and amazinger. So I have decided that part of what we've done now will be moved over to issue 4, and new sections will be added to issue 3 to make the transition a bit differently, to add a few story beats and to improve the book. I think the book will be better off. It was awesome already, but I wanted to make the best book possible. This is the only time that I can make issue 3, and I wanted to do it right. So this means, unfortunately, that we will need a little bit more time to get it produced, which I don't like. I hate it. But I rather do it than release the book knowing that things could be different. These are choices you have to make as an indie creator, and it was a tough decision. I talked about it with Pau and with Daniel, and we're all on board. We just want to make the best book for you guys. So, and it does mean that production for issue 4 will be less work because we already did a large portion of that book. So it has ups and downs. Okay, guys, let me see who is joining us today in the chat. I always like seeing you guys in the chat. Area Blackness is here. Area, hello. Area, are you still in Sheffield? Right? The thumbnail pic is the stuff of nightmares. Yes, it is. It is very disturbing. Yes. And this is the point, right? So as London Gothic says, that's the idea. Yes. David Feed, welcome, David. Cool to see you, man. I had a stream with David yesterday, the Triple D show. It was a fantastic show. I really loved it. We had a great time. So if you haven't seen it, please watch it. We have a lot of awesome topics we discussed there. Really, really cool stuff. We have Tony Horton. Tony Horton, welcome, Tony Horton. Nice to see you, sir. And of course, Chris Fisk. Chris Fisk is here. I always like seeing Chris Fisk in the chat. I hope you're doing well, sir. Yes, and then we have Aviation Novels, otherwise known as Ryu. Welcome, Ryu. Welcome, man. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And of course, Mike is in the chat. This sounds interesting. Remember the American Gothic single season TV series? No, I don't think I ever saw that. Interesting. Welcome, Mike. And then we have, of course, we have Darksiders Comix. Darksiders Comix, my fellow Dutchie. Darksiders Comix has his own channel, his own YouTube channel with daily comic book reviews, guys. Check it out. Awesome stuff. Okay, 58 Underground. Woo, yes, here he is, 58 Underground. Awesome. How are you doing, man? How are you doing? Okay, I think. Oh, smack the like button, like it owes you money. Yeah, but it's free. It's free. Smack the like button. Indeed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chris. Okay, guys. I like to talk with people that I basically don't know. I never heard of this campaign before. This person contacted me to be on the show, and I like to have as much indie creators on the show as possible, but I do this once per week. So so sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. In this case, this person has a very, very interesting book, and it's not a campaign this time. So we will have a little chat about that. So let's just bring him on. Let's give him a round of applause, guys. Here is Nick Henry.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Nick.
Welcome,
sir. How are you doing, man?
Brilliant. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
I
love your accent.
I think that was my grandparents in that audience.
Oh, it was, yeah. That's very possible, yeah. So you're from London, I'm guessing.
That's right. Originally from London, yeah, but now live in the southeast of England.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. The first question, one of the first questions that I always ask my guests, because this is a drink with Brink. What are you drinking?
Well, unfortunately, because it's a school night and it's work tomorrow, I've only got water.
Water. Water. Yes.
Water.
That's perfectly fine.
That's it, mate. Get it cockneyfied in there.
Cockneyfied. Yeah, man. I love the accent. Also, I read your comic today.
Oh, brilliant!
And I really loved the way you had the accents in the dialogue. That was really, really well done. Awesome. I could never write that, but you can. So yeah, excellent stuff.
Well, it was easy when you've never written one before, so I just put it. What was coming out of my head just went on the paper and on the word files.
Okay, so this was your first comic that you've
first
written?
One ever, yeah, first one ever, and it's been
well done, man. Yeah, well done.
Lucky.
Tony says, I always try to make it to the show even while I'm working. Dave, we need to collaborate on something soon, sir. Okay, maybe. David says, southeast of England. Always thought that London encompasses all of Britain.
No.
No?
London's a city.
Yeah.
It is virtually southeast, but yeah, it's not quite.
Right. Oh, and Mike reminds me of the ticker. Thank you so much, Mike. I can always count on Mike. Let me see. I made one. Here it is. Woo! Thank you so much, Mike, for reminding me. Yeah. Okay. So Nick, what got you into making comic books? Did you love comic books? Did you always want to make one?
No, not really. And to be quite
Right.
honest with you, I've
Yeah,
never
of course.
really.
Be honest, man.
When I was young growing up, it was more horror films. So I
Right.
used to really, really go for that sort of scene. And it was later in life, really, when I had this story of all these characters floating around in my head from when I was really young. And through the years, I've told stories to the kids and, wife and stuff like that. And just never done anything with it, with all the characters.
Right.
And it just got to a stage where my wife said at one point, if you don't do something soon, you're going to pop your clogs and no one's going to know about this because it's quite good. So
Wait. You gonna pop your clogs in?
that's it. Yeah. Snuff it.
Right. Yes. I get it.
So, yeah. So she said to me, you really should do something with it. And I wanted it to be what was up here when I started thinking about actually doing it. We watch a lot of films, lots of TV series, horrors,
Right.
a lot of horrors. And I said, I imagine it in my head, which is a bit warped and a bit weird, that I can see it playing out as a show.
Mm-hmm.
So I was speaking to one of my sons, and they said, do it as a graphic novel, because if that's the sort of vision you want to give people, where they see what's going on, do it like that. And also, I don't profess to be a writer, and I couldn't write what you would call an actual novel. It's not my thing.
Yes.
So it was basically self-taught, really, that I taught myself, and with help of Mike, who came on board, the illustrator, Mike Burton, that he taught me a bit of how to do the scripts for doing it as a graphic novel. And it went from there. That was it, really.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So you actually, if you had the resources, you rather made a movie, right?
If I was a millionaire and won the lottery, I'd plough all the funds in. Yeah, we'd have a show on the telly, But
Sure.
it was one of those things that I think it works well as a graphic novel, really well. And having Mike on board, with my mind is really sort of horrified in there. God knows what goes round in there. It's all warped and weird, as you can tell by what I've written. But having Mike on board, he got on the same wavelength, and we met, and I sort of, he became what I call people when they say London Gothic-fied. You get hooked into it, and you start to like it. So then you get on the same wavelength, and he was just producing some amazing art.
So London Gothic, that is a term related to horror. What does it mean?
No, London Gothic's just the name of the book. It's just the name of the book.
Okay. Right.
Because we set it in like the Georgian Victorian times, it has that Gothic feel about it.
Right.
So, and it takes place mainly. I mean, although there is real places within the book, around the world, it mainly takes place in London, as these 4 chapters do.
Right. So, how did you meet Mike?
I met Mike. I was looking when I decided to write it, and go for it. It was early days of it, and I met Mike. I was looking for an illustrator, so I met a guy called Sean, first of all, who was like a concept guy. He done some concept, but he didn't have the time to illustrate a whole, novel. And at the time, we didn't know how many pages it was going to be. I just had all these thoughts running around in my head, and I just thought, oh well, this might happen and that might happen. So he done some really good concept drawings from just talking to me of all the characters that I was coming up with. And he said, I haven't got time to do it. So I looked on Upwork and found a Mike on there. He sort of applied for the job, but then coming on board, he was just amazed when I sent him. I'd written the first sort of chapter by then, chapter 1, and he just loved it. He just said, "That's it. I want to be part of it." So now we're partners in crime, so to speak.
Yes. So Upwork, that's a network for artists.
Yeah.
Right.
So you go on there and you place like a job advertisement, and it could be anything, but they've got a really great range of some amazing talent on there, really amazing talent. And I was just lucky really that I found him. He went away. He came back to me. He's one of the only artists that came back to me, and he said, like, I'll do you a concept drawing, to show you what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I couldn't really give away what the story was, because I didn't want someone saying, "Oh yeah, that's good. I'll go away and I'll do that."
Yes. Yes.
So I said to him, do us a picture of Jack the Ripper, your version of Jack the Ripper, because I know it's Victorian times and Jack the Ripper doesn't appear in London Gothic. So, do that. And not only did he do Jack the Ripper, he done me an actual panel of a story of Jack the Ripper fighting a demon.
Right.
So straight away, it was just wow.
Yes, this guy knew what you were looking for. Yes,
this is the man for the job.
Yes, yes, great. Yes. So I must say I read the comic book. I was like, I'm going to read this. I have 10 minutes. I can read it. I was still reading it like half an hour later. It's pretty thick, man.
It's a long story to tell.
Yes.
To get everything in there. And we don't use any narration boxes or anything like that.
Yes.
So what you see is you sort of delve into the mind as you read it. You're becoming one of the characters as you go along the roads, different stories all panning out. And over the 4 chapters, all those stories will come together. They sort of slowly start now with the introduction of characters and stuff like that. But as you get on chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, then it sort of comes into it's a really, really epic finale.
Right. Well, this one had a exciting finale also. Like
well, everyone does. It's the only way to keep people interested and buying.
Exactly. The ladies love them thick, Chris says. Yeah. So when I read it, I thought this reads like a movie. So now I totally get it. Now you've explained the backstory. I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. So I did like how you told everything through dialogue. So you have the visuals and you have the dialogue. Who did the colors, by the way? Is it also Mike?
That was Mike, yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
A lot of textures he uses, right?
Yeah, a hell of a lot. He uses as well. He uses I'm not an illustrator and artist, so bear with me. I think he uses like some sort of like 3D designs as well, and he uses like in their clothes. He actually pulls the textures in. So like Jellicoe's trousers is an actual sort of like a dark tartan that's in there.
Yes, even skin. Texture. Yeah.
Okay. We wanted to make it as though, like you say, if you was reading it, it's a little bit different to other sort of graphic novels and comics. Is that we want it to portray it as though you're watching it on the TV, even to some of the scenes where we've got a detective Bailey within it who's hunting missing kids. Right. And as he walks out of like a police station and he walks along, in the background, you can see a Punch and Judy stand. And then as he walks away, it zooms into that. And that's your next, as though it was on the TV sort of thing.
Yes, exactly. And all these characters, man, are there are barely any, nice characters. They're they're all pretty rough, Yeah,
they are. Yeah, well, it's all part of it. I wanted to introduce characters in there that you can, you love, but a majority of them, I really want you to hate them.
Yes.
And they really are nasty, horrible people.
So is this kind of the vibe you have in your? Is that culture where you live, or is this specifically made for the comic?
No, it's just what goes on in my mind. It's just weird.
Okay, okay, yes, yeah.
I just thought, after watching so many horror films, you know, it's you get a lot of people who the films and the series, and they shock for the sake of it, you know, and after, you know, watching so many, we didn't want to do that. And there's nothing in there, although there are shocking moments, and some of them. There was one particular that made me feel physically sick when I wrote it.
Yeah.
You know, but they're not there for the sake of shocking. They're there because they are part of the story. And going forward through the chapters, they all become, you know, you'll get it. It all comes together. There's a reason why these people do these things.
Right. David Feed says, I love the warning, parental advisory, horrific content. You've been warned, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. It is definitely, yeah. We didn't aim it at a sort of teen market. It's definitely an adult market, this graphic novel.
Right.
We could have. There were times when I was writing it, and I'd sensed I'd call my wife, who was a big part of it. She helped me a lot with it, and you know, I'd let her read it, and I'd say, I think that's a little bit too much, you know, and she'd say, no, if that's what's come from you, leave it, because that is part of the story. And it was the same sending it to Mike, you know, he'd say the same thing. No, we can't, it's part of the story. You've written it like that, you know. And I always say that, you know, I say that I sold my soul to Satan to write this book, and I'm just writing what he tells me.
Exactly, man. You should not self-censor. You should make exactly the thing you want to make, and there is always audience for horrific stuff. So
I hope so.
Perfect. Yes, there is, man. There is. Let me share your page. You have your own page for London Gothic. It looks really nice, the setup of this page. And people can get a 20-page sneak peek here.
They can, yeah. So we give them the first 20 pages for free to see if they like it. And if they do, then you can have a digital version or a hardback version.
Right. So this also brings you, this brings you to the web store, to the web.
That's the store, yeah.
Right. Yes. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the story, about the concept?
So the story is basically going back for thousands of years. There have been two rivals, good and evil. You have the good guys are the Brotherhood. The good guys are the Order of Totori, which are a sort of offshoot of the Knights Templar, and they were basically there to fight this Brotherhood of Sinestra, who are the evil guys. Now, they're all in the beginning of the book is Jesus on a cross.
Yeah.
And the nows that nailed Jesus to a cross have these powers. I don't want to give too much away because it's all part of the book. So, you know, they're fighting really. The Totori, the good guys, are trying to stop the Sinestra gaining these nows, which have been spread all around the world and hidden. And the Sinestra are the ones who are trying to find them, especially a guy in there called Lord Phineas Cromwell, who's particularly narcissistic and an evil, horrible git.
So how did you come up with the name?
Just
Lord
researching.
Phineas Cromwell.
Phineas Cromwell just popped in there really because nobody really particularly likes politicians. So I thought, well, let's have a politician in there. I'm on to a winner. Stick him in the House of Lords, and you know, let's see where we go with that. And Cromwell was a strong name in the UK,
right?
So, and also going back many years, there was a film that I watched, and it was called The Sword and the Sorcerer, and it was a bit of a flop in the 80s, but there was a villain in it, and he was named Cromwell, and he was horrible. And it always sort of stuck with me that would be a good character to develop in the future. So yeah, so I thought, Phineas. I don't know really how I came up with the name of Phineas. It just popped in there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
But yeah, so we have Lord Phineas Cromwell in there. And the good guy is the Duke, who's Henry de Montfort. And he's got a sidekick called Jellicoe, who's an ex-bare knuckle Irish fighter.
Yeah. This was my favorite character, Jellicoe.
He seems to be very popular.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like unfiltered and
Yeah.
great
He's
character.
typically Irish, and he is based on a family member in Ireland,
All
and
right.
my granddad, funny enough. So
Right.
you got the best of both worlds there. So and the Irish have a great sense of humour, and they don't hold back on anything.
Yes. There's a typical humor in this
Yeah,
book, and there's this banter between characters, and it's really cool. It's well written, man. The dialogue is very natural.
thanks.
Yeah.
I must be lucky. That's all.
Very nice website, says 58 Underground.
Thank you.
Well, maybe could it be that you learned how to write dialogue because you said that you watch a lot of series and movies?
It could be, yeah, but it was really strange how it happened, because when I started to write it, and I still don't know how, I sort of planned out the different scenes, and we basically, myself and my wife, when I was thinking about it for so many years, I would have single malt whiskies on a Friday after work, and sometimes get a little bit tipsy. And I'll tell her more stories about it, and she used to write stuff down in a journal. And it got to a stage where this journal was getting full up with characters and storylines and everything, And she
wow.
said, you've really got to do this. So when I decided, yeah, look, let's do this, let's write it. And like I say, I've never written anything.
Yes.
I don't think I'm that clever. So I just wouldn't have thought. And I actually sat there and I thought, I don't know how I'm going to do this. But when I did it, it just came. It was like I was in a different zone, and I just started writing. And that's why I always say it wasn't me. It was the hand of the devil that done it. I was just his orchestra on a keyboard. He just
Right.
said, yeah, there you go. But yeah, it was really weird. I still don't know. And we're working on other sort of, we're talking about spin-off origin stories of some of the characters as well, to sort of coincide with the release of the chapters. So and I haven't done any yet, but I've got the stories in here, but I haven't done it yet. So hopefully it'll still be the same thing, and I get on there and go, "Way, here we go." It just comes to me.
Yes.
But we'll wait.
So the story developed through the years. So you had short parts, and you wrote it down, or your wife did. You said, right?
Yeah.
And then you merge it together. It just built.
Yeah, whole
yeah.
world. It just came together. It was all like,
Yeah. Wow.
One night I'd say about one character, and then, like with Punch, it was like I like myths and legends, and there's myths and legends that I put a spin on in London Gothic and make them demonic. That's the whole point of it. And
Right.
there's characters that come in to the next couple of chapters. This isn't the end of it. You've got a lot more to come yet. It's going to really, really jazz up this thing. It gets a lot more horrific.
Whoa.
So,
Chris Fisk says sinister is Latin for left-handedness. Those bloody lefty feckers. Yeah. Yes. And Sugar Chris is here. Welcome, Sugar. Sugar Chris, we are talking with Nick today about his book London Gothic, which you can get through the website London Gothic, right? The link is pinned in the chat, guys, so you can check out the website directly. What is this? This is links to things you can check out.
This is just I do a blog. I try
blog,
to do
right?
monthly.
Okay.
It depends on how busy we are, but so each one of those is a different blog that we've done from when it actually started.
Right.
So
excellent.
Have a read through those. If not, that, I mean, they're always good material to send you to sleep sometimes, I suppose. But they just really keep people up to date with where we are and what we were doing. When we originally did a lot of these, we were going onto the Kickstarter for it. So we were trying to keep people, I always am a great believer in keeping people informed. If you've pledged your money for something, then you want to know what you're doing, So we
Yes.
did a lot of that on these and Kickstarter, and we all the way through till it, everything was delivered.
Wait. So how did the Kickstarter do? You made your goal.
Yeah, we made the goal. Yeah, we didn't go too mad with it. I think we had like a £1,500
Oh, nice.
target, and we got over the 2,000.
Oh, nice,
So
man.
that was nice to fill the coffers, because at the moment I'm self-funding everything. So because when it was started, I wasn't sure whether we would want to really push it that much to the general public. It was more like it was going to be something for my kids to read. I was going to leave something, this story that's been in here.
Right.
I just needed to get it out there. And my wife always said to me, sort of, before you die, leave the story for the kids, even that they might appreciate it. So, it started off like that, but then different people I showed it to as we was drawing it and illustrating and it was written, they were saying, you've got to get this out there. This is really good. You need to get this out there. There's a lot of horror fans out there that are going to love this. So we decided to sort of push it and then bring it out to anyone who'll enjoy it, really.
Right. By the way, I just saw you have this video, this trailer.
Yeah, that was a trailer for before we went live with the release. So
right.
that was one. Mike did all that as well.
Right. Shall we show it, or?
Yeah, by all means.
Okay. I don't think I have my sound on, so let me just stop for a moment. And I got a bunch of comics yesterday, Chris says, with some ones I never heard of before in the stack. That's great. Never heard of London Gothic before. Always good to learn about new ones. That's why we're here. I love to introduce you guys to new creators with new books. Okay,
we might be the ones that you dust off at the bottom in a few years.
yeah, you never know, man. But okay, let's give this a look. There is sound, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's animated. Yeah. Cool, man. Nice.
Yeah, we don't like doing things by half measures. We definitely go for it.
Yeah. Great. So this book, how many pages is this?
This one, including covers, is 92. And then it's about the same for the next, for chapter 2, chapter 3. But then chapter 4, it could be a big old bumper issue. It might run into sort of 130.
Wow.
Because there's a lot to finish off, a lot of stories to sort of come together and be told.
Yes.
And then we've done it. Honestly, there is so many moments in there where you go, what the happened there? Like, what have I just seen? What happened?
Yeah. So do you ever, when you write, do you ever feel that you're getting stuck, or do you have to find it challenging sometimes to move things forward, or was it not an issue?
No, I never had that issue with this one. What I did have was, I'd write some of it and then go back over it and then get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because I've just buzzing and something was in there and I thought, oh, that doesn't work. I need to change the way that scene ends,
Right.
And that happened quite a lot. I think I wrote it. I think it was probably just as the world went into lockdown, and it took me about 3 months, 4 months, something like that, to write the 4 chapters. But like I say, that was going at it all the time,
Right. Okay, this is your web store, right?
Yeah.
You can get lots of stuff here. You get a necklace, original art.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The graphic novel, of course.
Yeah.
What's with the price difference here?
So if you click on it, you'll see that one of them is a digital version. So
yes.
You've got a digital download. You've got a normal graphic novel, or you can have a signed one.
Right.
So the only problem that we have in the UK really is the cost to dispatch. Royal Mail, and it's not my fault, it's Royal Mail's fault. They're just bloody expensive to send anywhere outside the UK.
Yeah. Shipment is murder for everyone. It's
So what I'm planning on doing is probably bringing in the one that we've got, the graphic novel. We spent a lot of money on, so we've got like an anti-scratch cover, and it's spot UV'd. I don't know if you can see the picture.
Oh, nice, man.
The Duke is there, so the logo there is spot UV'd, and the picture,
Yes.
So it's all
excellent.
perfect bound. It's lovely. But what I might do is just have a run of just like a normal run with a gloss laminate cover or something like that we can bring the unit price down, so it makes it more attractive to send it out, because getting the digital version doesn't do it justice sometimes. When you get this, it's a lovely piece of
course
art.
You want people to have the actual book, right?
Yeah.
I get it.
So it's we give people the options. I mean, they can read, like I say, the first 20 pages on there, and if it tickles their fancy, then buy a digital version. If they like that, go for the novel.
I love how the book here is held by these bloody hands. That's some quality marketing, man.
Well, it says it all. It's not for kids when you see that.
Yes. But there's reviews also.
Yeah, we've had some reviews lately. Yeah, it's been quite good. Yeah, people are buying it.
5 stars, 5 stars. Ooh.
Yeah.
Look at you go, man. Excellent. And you get a poster. You can get a poster here.
Buy posters, yeah. So we've got some poster selection there. We had some like guest artists come on. Those Mike didn't do those. He was too busy, and I said I need some promo art, for the Kickstarter, and we was doing some other bits as well. So we found some different artists, and funny enough, it was on Upwork, and we briefed them on what we needed, and then they came up with some amazing, like, realistic art,
Right.
And, so it was they look really good, those ones. So we can use those throughout the books, or when we do, we've got some shows coming up, some comic cons and stuff like that, which would be interesting, because I've never done one of those. So that'd be interesting. It'd be lovely to meet people and have a chat with them if they're interested about it.
Yes.
So yeah, be cool.
This looks great. Who's the artist?
That was Giulia Gualanzi. That she's an Italian artist. She was one of the first ones. We gave her the Duke. I wanted the Duke in, because a lot of it is set in the sewers of London.
Yes.
Sewer. It's miles upon miles of sewers down there, and they're dirty. They stink. God knows what's down there. And that's what was a prime example of me bringing that into a main feature of London Gothic. So I wanted the Duke in the tunnels.
Oh, this is awesome.
That's Jellicoe and Ghost.
Yes.
His loyal companion there.
Fantastic, man. Beautiful art. And And we have this one.
That's
This is the witch.
Honora. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to keep both sides, the light and the dark, at bay.
Yes, this is all the same artists, right?
No, these were done by a guy called Richard Malloy, an Irish guy, and he's worked with us on quite a few of them, because we found that with some of the guys we found on Upwork, they were too busy to take on any more, unfortunately.
Right.
So
Yes.
we found a guy called Richard Malloy on there as well, but he was quite happy because he loved it. He just, what I call London Gothic fired. He just wanted to be involved in it. He thought it was great. So we gave him that one, the Duke, Phineas, and
Right.
we were looking more for the realistic character sort of
Right.
art of it,
Yeah. You can tell that this guy is a professional. The way he lays things out, the composition.
Yeah.
Very well done with circular background surrounding her here. Excellent work. You have this one. Wow. This quality stuff, man. Fantastic. Yes. I love it.
Like I say,
Okay.
I don't do things by halves. If you're going to do it, we wanted to bring it out and do it properly. We wanted to make something that people, if they spend their hard-earned money on something, you want to give them something in return.
Yes, of course. You can get some mugs. Oh, it's still loading.
It might be loading or locked, that one. I'm not sure.
Right. I saw something here. You are also on Global Comix.
Yeah, we've not long been on that. We put that on there. Now, I'm not a techie at all. I'm absolutely bloody useless at tech. I'm surprised I even knew to click the link on here to get on your channel. So so we've been on that for a little while. So we're seeing how that goes with, if anyone wants to buy it on there, because you can buy the it's more aimed really at sort of like the American sort of audience out of that way, and then they can buy it for $3.99, the PDF and stuff like that. So
Right. This is only for digitals, right?
Only digital on there, yeah.
Yes. 80s made consumer. Hey, welcome to the show, sir. Hello. Yeah. These look great, says Mike. Yes.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, so people can go to the Global Comix if they want to read if they wanted to support you and buy the digital version for only $4.
Yeah.
And you get 90 pages, guys, for $4, right?
The price of a coffee, a cheap one.
Yes. So how much does Global Comix take?
I think they take about 45% or something like that.
45%?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, I know. But it's unfortunately for us, it's one of those things, because we're really new. Just trying to get yourself out there. You need to be out there, and then this is something that a lot of people are going to enjoy, so they want to read the rest of the chapters. And we just wanted to get out there and let everybody enjoy the story, really.
Yeah, of course. Wow, 45%. That's a lot. But yeah, if it can get you some audience, some eyes on it, that will be great. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else we have. What else can we show, Nick?
On there, that's about it really for the website. There's a little bit on there about the creators, about the team. So you'll be able to see, I think Mike's on there, Sean, he's like our character development guy. So if I come up with a character, which funny enough I've been doing lately for the next chapters, I see him, and then it's really going at each other. He picks out this weird stuff in my head, and I say, right, I want it to look a bit like this, and then he draws it. I say, no, that's got to change, make him more scraggly hair, and
yes.
I don't really want, I go for the style of, I don't want the characters, like the evil characters, the main ones, I don't want them to look like anything that's been done before. So we try and twist it up a bit,
Yes. Yeah, so you have these brainstorm sessions, and you develop these characters. Yeah, and I think you need to use a lot of research and reference material for the era, right?
Yeah.
Does this also go for your writing?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because the places when I get things in my head, the places that pop in there, I try and research real places. Like in the first one, we've
Mhm.
got Poveglia Island in Italy,
Oh,
and
right, yeah,
that is actually an island off of Venice that was a plague island. They used to send the plague victims there just to die. So
right,
no one's allowed on that island. You have to take a boat trip, and I don't think you're even allowed to go on there. So, I thought, well, this is great because I saw pictures of it that people have actually gone on there and they shouldn't be.
right,
And they've done like video cams. Look, we're on the island, and there's all derelict, like, Gothic stuff. And like they tried to make a hospital there, and it's all derelict, and there's still like old beds and stuff,
right.
graveyards everywhere. So I thought, what an ideal place
Mhm.
for them to find Punch. He's
Yeah,
there.
it's like looking for a location for a movie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, basically. And it was the same with the characters. Um, I get them in my head. I know so much about old myth and legend,
Hmm.
and there'll be characters coming in that no one would have heard of. There'll be some that people know. I mean, Punch and Judy is a great one that many people know. It's just that I wanted to do a different take on it, and after researching, I noticed that. Well, I couldn't find a demonic punch. I could find evil punches, horrific ones, but not a demon, not someone that's been brought back, as part of this Sinestra organization.
Hmm.
And so we wanted to make that. And Judy in there, and she's just a bloody loon. She's a psychopath. So, let put the pair of them together and let them create some havoc.
Exactly. We like that. 80s made consumer says this looks awesome. Going to have to pick this one up.
Thanks very much.
Excellent. Excellent, man.
We
Chris
need all
says
support.
92 pages is nice. Is that full color interiors as well?
It is. Everything in there is full color. It's all the way throughout.
One sec.
There you go.
Look at that.
All the way through.
Yes. Look at that
And
thick.
you'll see if I pick a page out in here, you'll see, just to give you an idea of that sort of image. If I can get it in front of the camera, there you go.
Yeah, the color
That one
work is
there.
pretty good. Yeah, yeah.
So you can see where it is when you read it. It was like watching it on a TV.
Yes.
And there's elements of everything in there. We mixed it up with, like, you've got the witchcraft elements and stuff like that. So and I'm lucky enough to have a real good advisor on witchcraft because my wife's a pagan witch.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So all the symbols and everything that's in there were researched by, I had her there, and when she was writing this journal, and I'd say, right, okay, so the Duke's got these guns and they're 16th century revolvers, but I don't want bullets. What can we have? And she'd say, oh, well, if you have this special crystal, it's supposed to be very holy that can kill, you put it in your house and it repels evil spirits. And I said, right, let's have that. That's the bullets.
Yes.
So, everything there is, although it's fiction, there's an element of truth in it.
Right. Yes. That's so exciting, man. If you have these ideas and other people thinking along with you, and suddenly you got it. This is it. This is it, man. That's so exciting. Yeah. Fantastic. Mike says oversized European album sized. Cool. Yeah, yeah. It's not comic book size, right?
No, we've done it as A4.
Yes, A4.
It's an A4
Yeah.
book because a lot of when we discussed it, myself and Mike, about doing it, like a 8x11, like a normal comic size, it would work out so small for us, and to get those images across, It just didn't work. So what we thought was we'll do it a UK A4 size, and they fit perfectly. They're a real pain to ship because they cost more money.
Yeah.
But we pack them really well anyway, you know. So when people get them, they get like a bubble wrap black, like a sleeve with a logo on, and then we put them in cardboard, like, you know, like the Amazon sort of wraps.
Right.
So they work really well. But yeah, we wanted the pictures there. You know, they deserve the justice of being a bit bigger.
Right. So. Yes. Okay. Are you right now producing the second book?
Yeah, we're currently illustrating the second book. So all 4 chapters have been written. So they're in the bag. That's no problem.
Right.
So Mike has been, since we had a little bit of a break after the Kickstarter, which finished, I think it was May, because obviously we had logistics. We had to get everything out to people, and that took a lot longer than I thought it would, because we were new to it and I was naive.
Yes.
So I put a dispatch price on Kickstarter of, say, like £15 for America, and it cost me £29, you know.
Yeah.
So, but that's fine, you know. That's what we said. That's what we do. So it was the dispatching of it, and also Mike started illustrating the next chapter. So I think he's probably about 30 pages in of illustration. Okay. So it's in illustration, pencil work, and inking, and then we've got someone else that a girl called Mickey, a lovely young lady called Mickey, who's on board, and she does a bit of the colouring, and then Mike puts the effects on and stuff like that. And Mike also does the lettering.
Okay, right.
We've got an editor that we send it off to, so it's not us looking at it thinking, oh yeah, it looks great, you know. Yeah, because it will do to us. It looked great, fantastic. Right. I always want someone else's opinion and go, look, there you go. Tell me what you think.
So the editor also gives you feedback about the story itself.
Yeah.
So you can change stuff up through him.
You can, but touch wood, we never had to, because it's
right.
I've been through it so many times, and I've let, you know, a handful of people that I trust look at it, read the script.
Right.
And I get feedback that way before we start illustrating, because there's nothing worse than, you know, you don't want an illustrator sitting there wasting their time, and then you say, I need to change that. It's just going to piss them off. You don't want that. You know? So just,
I know. Yeah,
you
know, I know all about it. Mike has a question. Did you experience printing delays shortages, as many in the US are?
Funny enough, Mike, we didn't experience the shortage or delay. What I experienced was, I went to pick the first batch up. I had to wait about 2.5 weeks, and all the pages fell out of every single one of them.
Whoa!
Because they hadn't been perfect bound properly. So
oh, no.
It was a bit of a nightmare, that, because we wanted to get them out to the Kickstarter, you know.
Yeah.
So I had to. The guys that did it realised that there was a fault in the glue, and they had to reprint the whole lot again.
Oh wow!
So the second batch came back, and it was absolutely perfect. So
right.
Yeah, that was good. But yeah, it was that was a bit of a shock, because when you get something and it's your first time, and you open the box and you go, oh, look at this, and then it goes, oh shit, look, it's all over the floor.
Yeah, that's, oh man, it's such a mess.
So yeah, wow. We had a bit of a problem there, but that was sorted out. So it's not too bad.
It's a good thing that the printer solved it for you, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I'm lucky, because I actually work in a sign company, like printing signs and stuff. And I come from a print background. So
okay.
I knew the person that was doing it for me. And so I knew exactly what I wanted. It was no problem. You know, I said to him, you know, I want anti-scratch lamb, I want spot UV here, you know, and everything else. And so he couldn't really say, oh no, it's not our fault. It's I could say, no, look, use the wrong glue here. So we had a bit of a disaster moment there.
Right.
And then you start to think, is everything going to go wrong?
Yes.
But luckily it never did. That was it. Yeah.
And we have news for you, Nick, because Chris Fisk says, I just ordered a physical book. Definitely looking forward to adding this one to my spinner rack collection.
Oh, thanks so much, Chris.
Awesome.
Really yes. Brilliant.
Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Hey, come on, baby! Yes! Come on! Come yes. On! Come on! Yes! Yes!
Thank you, Chris.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Chris. Let us know what you think.
Yes, excellent. Excellent. And in the chat is also now Shadowhawk Talks. Welcome, Shadowhawk. Welcome, sir. And we have Ice Queen. Ice Queen. Hey, welcome. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the show. Chris says, a drink with Brink has absolutely ravaging my wallet. I'm so sorry, mate. So sorry. Yeah, this is good stuff, man. We love indie comics. We love to learn about new creators and new books. So yeah. So what are the plans, Nick? After this book, if this is completely finished, this complete series, do you feel like you want to continue creating comics?
So yeah, so we'll be creating comics. So what I've done is at the end of chapter 4 of this series, it ties up a lot of loose ends, and there is a Bosch moment. It's like nothing you've seen. It will, your jaw will just drop. You wouldn't believe that what happens, and it's open. Although that's chapters, those 4 chapters have been finished, we've left it open. If anyone wants it, that we could do another 4 chapters.
Wow.
So, but the beauty of it is I didn't realise. A guy said to me last week, actually, I was speaking to a guy and he said to me, you do realise that you've created like your own little Marvel multiverse because you've got so many characters and they're doing this, that and the other. And I was like, well, I don't really know what that is, to be honest with you.
Right,
but yeah,
yes.
it sounds really good, yeah. So he said to me, you know, you can take this backwards, you can go forwards, you can do origins. And that's why I thought, origin story sounds pretty good because, as you know, illustrating, lettering, colouring, editing takes a hell of a long time. And we're not like 30, 40 pages. They're big chunks of book. So to keep people interested, what we thought was, myself and Mike, we had a discussion. We said, well, maybe it'd be good to, while people are waiting, we give them a black and white comic, but it'll be an origin story comic of a character.
Right.
And then sort of keep people interested in it. So we're talking about that at the moment.
Yeah, this is the cool thing about indie comics. Everyone is making their own thing, and you get something for everyone. You have superhero, you have science fiction, and you have horror, like you make. So there's something for everyone. Chris says, indie comics is where we're getting the innovation and fresh stories. You gotta support them, or the corporate-backed mainstream wins. Yes. And Whiskey Jack. Hey, welcome, Whiskey Jack. Welcome to the show. Salute.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes. Okay, Nick. Before we close off, is there something else that we forgot to talk about for the campaign or for the book? Something that you want people to know?
Not really. Everything's on the website. If you visit the website, you know, there's an email address on there as well. And if anyone wants to send me an email, I'm always willing to talk. I never poo-poo anyone away. You know, unlike all our characters, we're not nasty, really. We only bite a little bit. So yeah, you know, just you can order it off there. At the moment, we're on Global Comix. So we're actually trying that out for now to see if that generates anything. But we seem to do more off the website. So if you want to pop on there, and the blogs will be updated as well. And if any of your viewers are in the UK, we'll be at the Kent Comic Con in Maidstone on, I think it's November the 6th. And also the Winter Comic Con at Earl's Court, I think it is. That's 19th of November. That's London.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, by all means, come and see us. Come and have a chat. We love it.
Yeah, exciting stuff, man. Okay, guys, the links to all of this is in the description of the video also the link to Nick's Twitter profile, so you can follow him there. And I like to remind everyone also that you can still back Perfect 10 issue 3 and Crossworlds, as long as we are working on the book. And so get on this. It won awards, guys. So you want this in your collection. And you can sign up to American Bliss Father's Pride Part 1. We will likely go live somewhere after September when all the art is finished. So yeah, check all that out, guys. Nick, I want to thank you, sir, for being my guest today. And
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Yes, that's great episode, Dave. Yeah. Special thanks to you guys, to the chat, for everyone who showed up to watch. And you guys are great. Please like, if you like this video, please share. I won't be back for next week because I'm going to Barcelona. But the week after, we will have a new show on this channel, same time, same channel, new guest, and see you then, guys. So bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.